What's up, guys? Welcome back. So today, rather than taking you through a workout, instead I want to go over a few things that have really helped me stay consistent with actually doing the workouts long term. I've been excited for this one, so I hope that if there was ever a video of mine that you, the viewer, sat all the way through, it's this one. If not though, I do have a special announcement to make at the end of this one, and you can skip right to that at this timestamp if you want, but I do hope that you take the time to watch this whole thing, because especially at this time of year, right when everybody is starting to give up on like their New Year's resolutions, I feel like this video could help a lot of people. Being in the right place mentally can have a huge impact on your consistency, your progress, even the quality of each individual workout, and all of that can also be nerfed if you don't take your mental health seriously, and you'll find yourself not being able to push yourself as hard. You'll find it harder to learn new things if you're closed off to new ideas, and then you'll find yourself getting frustrated with the fact that you haven't made as much progress as you know you could have. Maybe those things already sound familiar. I know I've been there before. I spent 2 of the last 3 years of my life really struggling with motivation and finding any kind of drive, really. But I noticed that one of the biggest things that was holding me back was my lack of discipline. I was making impulsive choices all the time, choices I would often regret later on. I was spending a ton of money that I didn't have. I just wasn't really considering the long-term effects of anything I was doing each and every day. So about a year ago, I decided that I was going to try and focus on building some discipline for myself. And since then, I've turned a lot of things in my life around. And it's gotten to the point where I've built so many new habits that the kind of productivity I could only dream of just a few years ago is now just my natural day-to-day life. And it's really not all that difficult anymore to get a lot of stuff done and stick to the routine that I've built for myself. The hardest part really was figuring out where to start and how to actually go about building that discipline. And that's what this video is going to be about. So these are the top 5 things that I did to build and maintain my discipline. Number 1, start small and take baby steps. Early on into this process, I noticed that I was always trying to do or change way too many things at once. Just trying to take my nutrition more seriously was something that I had a hard time with, because shopping, meal planning, calorie and macro tracking, it was always too much to pay attention to all at once. And of course, trying to add anything else on top of that, better sleep schedule, better hygiene routine, whatever it was, looking back, it's no wonder that I always fell off. So I tried starting with just staying in a calorie deficit. It didn't matter what kind of food I was eating, as long as it was between 2,500 and 3,000 calories a day. So the concept is to start with small things and take them on one at a time. And I wouldn't try anything else until whatever I was working on became a habit. So once I trusted myself to stay in a calorie deficit and my appetite had adjusted to that change, then I started prioritizing protein. Once I was comfortable with that, then I started focusing on timing my meals, so I would get good carbs before a workout and good protein after. And so what started as just focusing on caloric intake months ago is now a very well organized and consistent structure to what I'm eating every day. Then I took that same concept and started to apply it to other things in my daily routine. Now I go to bed and wake up at a better time. I'm well rested every morning. I keep everything clean and organized, and I take care of myself. And I have a mindset that's hardwired for productivity. It's something that I couldn't have imagined myself doing a year ago. But every small win built up my confidence over time, and that also allowed me to start taking on harder and more difficult things, like the Godmaker Challenge and a YouTube channel. Those small doses of dopamine and endorphins I would get every time I accomplished something kind of got me addicted to doing hard things because of the way that I would feel once I got it done. But I also have to admit that I wasn't perfect. I did make mistakes along the way. But another thing that really helped me was knowing that I was going to make mistakes and having a plan for when I did inevitably mess up somehow. So every time I would take any kind of step backwards, I would then go and take 2 steps forward. Take, for example, my consistency with uploading videos to this channel. Last year in August, I posted my first 2 videos and then didn't upload again for a month. So there's your step backwards, right? I started posting and then stopped after only 2 videos. But when I came back, I uploaded 6 videos over the course of just 10 days. And there's your 2 steps forward. After taking a step stepped back for a month, I came back and uploaded more videos than I did last time. So that's progress already. But then I went and took another month off. But do you see where I'm gonna go with this? With this video, I've now uploaded 8 times since that break, and I've got plenty more rough drafts in the works. So rather than trying to be consistent with uploading on a fixed schedule since day one, I knew that it was going to be a new experience for me, and so I planned for gaps in consistency until I had built up the habit of taking time to create content. And now that I've done that, I expect myself to sit down and get it done. It's a natural part of my day-to-day life. So for me, as long as I keep making progress towards my end goal, I can accept and even embrace mistakes because I know that I'll come back stronger. And when you really think about it, why shouldn't you make any mistakes? For whatever goal you have for yourself, it's likely going to be a brand new experience trying to reach that goal. Just like uploading content to YouTube was for me. Do you honestly expect yourself to do it perfectly on your first try? Being ready to mess up and having a plan for when it happens will keep you from getting discouraged and falling off, and it sets realistic expectations. So just keep taking 2 steps forward with every step back, and you'll find yourself making progress way faster than you probably thought you could have. Now, keep in mind that doing it this way on its own will eventually get you where you want to go. Again, as long as you keep making progress. But I did something that sped up the rate at which I was making that progress. So number 3 is to work with someone who's been there. There is no substitute for experience. If you're trying to do something for the first time ever, no matter what it is, you're always going to be better off working with someone who has already done what you're trying to do, especially if whoever you're working with has also taken the time to learn about that specific process in detail and also how to teach it to someone else, aka a coach. Work with a coach. This will allow you to take a much more proactive approach to whatever goal it is that you have. When you have someone who's done what you're trying to do and they know the ins and outs of it, you can prepare yourself for things that you might never even have considered if you were to try it all on your own. And me personally, I don't even have just one person to help me. I have coaches for fighting, weightlifting, pretty much anything and everything that I do. I have someone or something that I can refer to with questions or any kind of help I need figuring things out and getting over obstacles. And it has made all the difference in the world to me and the rate at which I'm learning and making progress. Because rather than just making good progress in one area, I'm making great progress across lots of areas. My dad used to have this saying that goes, "You are the sum of your 5 best friends." And as I've gotten older, I've realized that it could not be more true. People rub off on you, same way that you rub off on other people. Think about some of the mannerisms and unique traits that the people closest to you have, and tell me you haven't caught yourself doing some of those same things. If you surround yourself with people who have goals and want to succeed and have a plan to do it, you're naturally going to want to do the same. Same way that surrounding yourself with people who don't have goals or motivation can have that impression on you. I know for myself at least that a lot of people that I used to spend time around before I started taking my life so seriously aren't really around anymore because I've started prioritizing my time for people who have the same mindset that I want to have. Now, this final piece of advice that I have for you is probably the most important, and it's what's really been the difference maker in helping me stay on track long term without getting burned out or bored or lazy. So number 5 is to be open-minded and flexible. Things are not always going to go the way that you think they will at first. This kind of builds off of preparing to make mistakes because you're also preparing for things to change along the way. A good example for this is the program that I've been following to prepare for the Godmaker Challenge. During the first month, I took the time to write out 6 months worth of programming already written out, ready to follow. And it didn't take very long at all before I realized that what I was doing was not going to get me where I wanted to go. Even though as I was writing it out, it felt like the best way forward at the time. You have to learn to go with the flow. Let your plan evolve with you as you learn new things. Don't be afraid to make changes as needed, but just make sure that those changes will help you reach your end goal. My new program changes pretty much every time I do a workout. Like I said in my bulletproofing video, some of these workouts I'm doing are completely different than what I first drew up in the program. So just don't set a fixed plan in stone, because you never know what could happen. Even with these 5 things that I've gone over, if tweaking a concept or two would better tailor it to your needs, 100% you should do that. Following a pre-written program and not allowing yourself to change anything or make any adjustments is like drawing a map based on what you think it's going to look like before ever actually going in and exploring that area. It doesn't make any sense, right? One of the biggest lessons that I've learned as a coach is no two people need exactly the same thing. So there is no objectively perfect way to do anything really. No matter what it is, be flexible enough to make changes that are going to help you reach your goal more efficiently. The only thing that needs to remain constant is that you just keep showing up. Just keep showing up. It doesn't matter what your goal is, how hard or easy it is, how much you quit, or how consistent you are. As long as you keep showing up, you'll keep getting closer to reaching your goals. That's discipline. The ability to keep going and keep hitting it, even when you fail, even when you don't want to, or even if you don't think it's worth it. Just keep going. So there you have it, guys. Those are the top 5 things that I've done to help build and maintain my discipline. If you made it this far, thank you. Thanks for watching. And I want to wrap this up with that special announcement that I mentioned at the beginning. And if you skipped ahead to this part of the video, hey, welcome back. Perfect timing. So since beginning my career as a personal trainer, I've really fallen in love with the art of coaching, and watching my clients go from point A to point B has been very fulfilling for me. The education and experience that I've gained over the last year has been nothing short of life-changing for me, and I love being able to share that with other people who are still trying to find their way through the fitness world. It's something that I want to stick with and do for a long time, and I also want to expand my outreach beyond just the commercial gym that I work at. So later this month, I'm going to start taking online clients and open an online only personal training business. And I'm doing this in collaboration with 2 other people, one of which is one of my old roommates from college. We've been cooking this up since 2021. He's still working in the shadows for now, but I'm sure you guys will get to see him at some point. He lives out in Teton County in Wyoming, and we have a few ideas for some cool videos that we can make out there. The second guy is someone some of you are already familiar with. He's been in a few of the videos already, and it's my boy Kaysen. So together, he and I will be taking clients starting February 21st. And what we want to do is help you reach your goals as efficiently as possible. And along the way, we're going to teach you everything that you need to know. So once you're done working with us, you have all of the tools that you need to do anything on your own in the future. It's a teach a man to fish and feed him for a day type thing. And we're going to be doing this under the name of the company that the 3 of us are starting, called The 3 Kings. So in the description to this video, you'll find a link to a Google form that you can fill out if you want to set up a free consultation with no commitment, no obligation, or anything like that, where we can better explain how we can help you. For the time being, while we're still early on, we're going to be taking clients at a slower pace, but we really want this to grow so we can work with as many people as possible. I've mentioned before that I really wish more people knew how to apply some of the same concepts that I'm applying to my own workouts. So this is my way of spreading the love. So if you have a fitness goal and you're having a hard time getting there, fill out the form and see what happens. But that is going to wrap it up for today, guys. So the next video is going to be covering my full body dumbbell workout, another one that I've been excited to make. So I will see you guys in that one. Until then, peace.